A few weeks ago, I had some kind of a paranoid moment, and I went in and I deleted a lot of the videos that I had made over the last year on this channel. One of them was about my experience with cataract information, personal experience. And today I was like, why did I delete those videos? I should have just logged in private, Anyway, I want to repeat the little story about the cataract situation and put it back on my channel, because I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I get rid of it? Because in that moment someone had said loose lips sink ships, and I was a little bit harassed and targeted after making those videos. Okay, here it is in a nutshell. Like about 4 years ago, when I was I'm making this video after I made those other 3 update videos, and I shed a couple tears and talking about my friend who I'm going to write a book about. Well, I did a lot of, it was one morning when I woke up. I was still living with him, and we had a routine of having to change his wound bandages twice a day. It was a routine that had to happen every day, and it usually took a half hour to an hour at a time. Long story short, the wound that he had, it was weeks and weeks, and it was almost healed, closed. It was at the base of his spine. And we were so happy because the wound was now, instead of being a fist-sized hole in his back side, it was now healed up so much that the hole was just about closed up from the surgery, and he was going to be able to take a bath pretty soon. And, it was a big thing. Well, I'll describe later on about how he would self-injure every time he was getting close to healing. And so one morning I woke up and I got all the medical equipment ready. I used to you get it all ready to do it, just like in a hospital. The VA trained me how to do his wound care. So anyway, I opened the bandage, and what I saw sent a shockwave into my body, because the night before, the wound was a little tiny hole. I opened it up, and it was this fist-sized gray matter wound, as if, number one, he either stuck his fist in the thing overnight and slept on it, because it was impossible that thing could have opened up like that and been so infected that there was gray matter around the inside of the tissue. I was in total shock when I saw that. And because he would vacillate between one altar and the other, he would injure himself in his sleep. That's how sad the situation was. So when I looked at it, again, I don't know if he did it on purpose while he was sleeping or whatever. Anyway, the point being, the wound was so bad looking that I just said, look, I gotta call your nurses at the VA, because this is beyond my ability to know what to do about it. And I did that, and we took a photo and sent it to his team there at the VA. And they said, you better come in. So he went into the hospital for 3 weeks about that wound, and everything went downhill from there. Okay. So then I was alone in the house. The ambulance took him the hour and a half to the hospital. I didn't drive him myself. The next morning I woke up, and guess what? My good eye, I've got 2 eyes, one of them, this is a story about my eyes. The good eye that sees the best was frickin' blurry. And because I've studied some of this stuff, the first thought that came to my mind was that when I looked at the wound, the nanodust went into my eye. I know that sounds ridiculous, but anyway, I'm just saying what thought went through my mind, because why would I wake up with my good eye being blurry? So, and my vision was completely different overnight. So within the next week, first I went to Walmart to the eye center and cheaply had them, check me out. They said, oh, you got a cataract there now. There's not a cataract in the other eye, just your good eye, which is my left eye. And I'm not going to talk right here about this eye business and the you know what. Okay, so I'm like, oh, gee. Anyway, shortly after that, I contacted a cataract surgeon in a nearby city who told me, I wish I could remember her name, talked to her on the phone. I said, man, I got a cataract just happened overnight. She said to me, there is something that now is happening, a phenomena by where she's seeing a lot of patients are coming in with the same thing, instant cataract overnight. She also said that there's a kind of cataract's never been seen before, and it has a real clinical name called digital eye damage. I need to say this real loud. Digital eye damage. This cataract surgeon in Tucson, Arizona is telling me there's something called digital eye damage, and there's something called overnight cataracts. And she said to me on the phone, I've never seen anything like it. So at least I didn't feel crazy. That was not good for people. So anyway, long story short, the eye that got the cataract has a pupil the size of a pin head, and my pupil all my life does not dilate. And there's reasons for that, the whole story. My pupil don't dilate ever. And that was my good eye. I could see the best with the light was the greatest, and I have a whole eye drama. I had surgery at 2.5, and I'm sure aliens were involved. So anyway, so basically then I found a cataract surgeon, the only one in this county who wanted to operate. I said, and he said, we can't operate unless we dilate your pupil. I said, my pupils don't dilate. He said, we've got these 3 kind of drugs. We'll try them all. And for the first time in many years, I let him put drops in my eye, which I had gotten to be afraid of because they don't work. Well, he tried one chemical, didn't open the pupil. Tried another one, didn't open the pupil. Even a third time, and the nurse looked a little worried. He said it'll be blurry for a while. Nothing could open the pupil. Anyway, he's and then the surgeon, the cataract guy who had like a McDonald's type of business where patients were in and out, but someone I knew had been to him, and then she died 6 months later. So anyway, so he said, well, we have tools that can do this anyway, and let's try them. And I said, nope, because of my history, I don't want anyone touching my eyeballs. I'd rather, whatever. But so anyway, that's in the other videos I erased, I talked a lot about that drama where I was harassed by the office to come in, and anyway, okay, in a nutshell, I saw there's an agenda to do cataract surgery on people to replace their lens. Okay, but let's go past that. Not long, and so I didn't go back to that guy, and I've been living for the last 3 years with the same cataract, but I use castor oil. It's basically under control, it's not bad. So on YouTube, not long ago, I found this video, and I may have saved it in a playlist. I hope I did. Where these 2 cataract surgeons once a year would go to Africa, to these remote areas, and voluntarily do free cataract surgery to people there in the village. So they go to this village and they meet a woman, and she's like, over 50 or whatever. And she's got both cataracts. She's blind and all this. Her eyes are all cloudy. It's obvious she got cataract. Guess what? They tell us in America that you got to get it early or else you're going to go blind, no hope for you. Well, guess what? These 2 guys did surgery on this lady's eyes and took away the cataracts, and then she could see. Did they fake the video? I don't think so. Boy, did they dance after that party. That was the first time I heard that you can have a full-blown on cataract and then have it removed, which is, how they do cataract surgery? Go look on YouTube. You'll see a ton of videos. They take a vacuum needle and go in there and make a little hole, and they basically suck out all the mucus. I call it mucus because what else is it? Because you can receive a cataract from internal conditions. So somehow cloudy mucus gathers there in your lens, and then they replace the lens. Okay? So even like when this surgeon wanted to do my thing, he gave me a pamphlet and said, well, you can choose the kind of lens you want to put in it. They had 3 different kind of lenses you could choose from. Now, I'm not going to talk about advanced technology going into the eyeball. But you really have to wonder, why they wanted to get me in that chair so bad that they called me up repeatedly after, there was a little tiff with the nurse I had there because he wanted me in that chair. He wanted to do my eyes even after I said, no, I'm going to wait, and I wouldn't have gone to him anyway. That office harassed me. I'm not going to say who they are. They harassed me on the phone repeatedly, wanting to get me back in that office to do my eye. Anyway, so the point of this little talk is, if you got cataracts real bad, I would suggest look it up, because there's no way I'm gonna let them touch my head at all surgically. Won't do it. And then I said to the guy, well, look, if it gets that bad, maybe I'll decide later on. You can experiment opening up my pupil to do the thing. But right now, I'm just going to live with my vision the way it is. And I have to say, it's served me well to not be able to see certain things as well as I used to. So anyway, I just want to say that cataracts can be removed, even if they're very advanced that you're blind. Okay? So don't rush into it. I'm not saying it don't work to do laser surgery, but just saying that there's a lot to study, and especially if you look into what people think is impossible technology going on in the SSP community with the left eye and all this drama. So there's multi-layers. I'm a human on Earth and I got a cataract. Simple as that. However, there's more to the eye than meets the eye. Oh, that's a good ending. There's more to your eye than meets your eye.